Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a belated, after a 2-week break, small horse invitational tournament adventure. It's obviously well past my bedtime. I am finally able to move without creaking after my debut for Sands United last Sunday. Not yesterday, the Sunday before. And I am back with another, no doubt, boring 0-0 6 games in a row Champ Manager tournament. There we go. So, this week, well, I tell you what, since it's been a little while, with zero fanfare, and even the managers themselves can't remember what's going on, we'll have a quick recap of where we stand so far in the league, and then we'll go through the runners and riders tonight and see who's up first in terms of the games to play. So, for some of the teams we're 5 games in, for others we're only 4 games in, as it's a 13-team league. One lucky team gets a rest every week. Different team every week. This week it is the turn of the Hurricanes, the Hispaniola Hurricanes, who have already played 5 games, so they let others catch up. And some obviously go on to 6 games. Unbeaten at the top of the hill is the aptly named Dudley Hill. Unbeaten and not dropped a point. And over the 5 games, I've only conceded 4 goals. Very much the team to beat so far. And hot on their heels. Not that they care. Not that they're bothered. Minimal interest. 3 wins out of 4. The only team so far not to buckle under that pressure is the Funky Unicorns, who took 2 points out of them. They themselves, minimal interest, have only conceded 3 goals in 4 games. Very, very good record. So be interesting to see if they continue to pile on the pressure of Dudley Hill. Only last week, or last time out, did they finally succumb to a defeat for the first time in what seems like months for Sparta FC, as they were on a fantastic unbeaten run during the previous iteration of the Small Horse as well. They finally lost to a very resurgent and transfer freed Sandfields, who very, very new look to them. Hey, welcome Tato, mate. Welcome. I know you can't hear me, but I've just been praising your minimal interest. Doing well. Shockingly, it is the Devils, are well up there in the league as well. Completely tied. Goals for and against, very much the same as Castor Troy, but it is the reverse of fortunes. 3 wins, 2 losses instead of 2 wins and 3 losses. But yeah, it's all to play for still, even this early, and even with Ban River 14 points behind your leaders, and myself second bottom, 12 points behind the leaders. Only 4 points behind the playoffs, and that is what I have to keep telling myself. Especially with a game in hand, I could very much be up. In fact, I can go ahead of the Hurricanes tonight if I win my game in hand. It won't happen, but, I can tell myself there is a chance. So, we'll have a quick look back over what happened last time, and that's the big result of the night. Hey, welcome Dan. Good to see you, mate. The big result from last time out was that clip I posted in the group chat. Not a problem at all, Dan. You can be on. I was planning on you being one of the later games anyway, as I expected. That sort of request. Not a problem. Not a problem at all, my good man. Yes, I'm glad to be back as well, mate. I can now move my body parts without creaking, and I'm in a much better headspace to be playing games. As odd as it sounds, pulling on the blue jersey for Sands United, as painful as an endeavour as it was after a decade out of football, was pretty emotionally draining as well, and I just needed a little break from Chat Manager for a bit to get ourselves back into it, and here we are. Insert Wolfie Catches. Yay! So here we are tonight. We will start with I'll tell you what, as he's here, let's go with... Oh, fantastic. Yeah, I every single part of my body that has been in pain, every creak and groan, every time I've had to walk up the stairs and sort of have a rest halfway, has been absolutely worth every second. Being able to say I played football specifically for Jordan was worth every pain in my body. I'm very, very glad that I did it. So fantastic. We'll go with... I'll tell you what, we'll do Sparta against Flamingos up first, because we can absolutely whip through that one nice and quickly, as I know Stu's busy tonight, and I'm not sure if Legends is about either. So unchanged still with the absolute madness tactics, none at the back for the Flamingos, and only one enforced change this week for Sparta. The joke went that he hasn't actually changed his team in about 3 seasons. Why change a winning formula? Van der Sar comes in, for the suspended headman. Jesus wept. And Torrado regains his place from Andrei Timoshuk. Now he is back. Headness Magman, I like it. Nicky Weaver. I've got a list of squad numbers. I wouldn't dare to give a Sparta FC player the wrong squad number. Let me scroll up. Number 37 for Nicky Weaver. Number 8 for Nicky Weaver. There is zero chance of me ever giving the wrong number to... Same as your squad, Dan. I would never dare to give the wrong squad numbers to anybody's team. And here we go. Away. We'll put us on next rocks, mate. Happy to do so. Now you're here. The only reason we haven't played already is because I was waiting for your arrival. And we are 2 goals to the good already. Before kick-off, I was about to suggest that rarely does a game in the Small Horse make it 10 minutes without a goal. 8 minutes tonight. There we go. And it is true to form so far. I don't think anybody really needs anything changing. as it is. So I reckon we'll go to 60 minutes for both teams, and then we'll see what we want to do about changing it up. Oof, unlucky. Again, it's another not that good start to the career at the Flamingos for not Ronaldinho, as we should call him. What do we reckon? He's not going to want Jay Lucas coming off. He's not going to want Captain Schweppes coming off either. McFarlane maybe for Ejiofor. Yeah, we'll give that a shot. Give that a try. And not one for many changes, but I reckon Bam Bang not having the best of games is the obvious change to make there. Yeah, nothing too drastic other than that, I think. We'll see if Spartan can see it out or if Flamingos can come back into it. There's rarely less than 5 goals in a Flamingos game, so I think there's probably some more goals in it yet. Yeah, 10 shots on target, only 3 gone in, so I think there's probably more to come. Commentator's curse at that point. It looks as if we're going to play out. Ah, there we go. A 3rd for Sparta, 4th for the game. And is there going to be a final goal? There you go. I said rarely under 5 goals in a Flamingos game. Another 5-goal thriller. 25 shots on target. On goal, 11 on target. Wow. I reckon Franco Costanzo's had another good game. Just the 8 out of 10. He's made 8 saves. And only got an 8 out of 10. Unbelievable. But yeah, again, some great... it's not going to bother him at all. Some great performances on the Flamingos team. Just ridiculous. Diego Placente quietly being one of the outstanding performers in the league again this season. Dragon, fantastic again. Sneaks another goal. Yeah, fair play. And there we go, as we said, my Funky Unicorns against Rox's Castor Troy. I did show you the tactic beforehand, but this is how we return Rox. Slight change from the 2 up top of the last game that, as we saw, didn't fare quite so well last time out. So back to basics, as it were, if you can call this ridiculous 1-3-4-1-1 formation basic for Rox. Yeah, back to the players that have steered him well so far. Definitely, I'm worried about Facundo Sava in that attacking midfield role, back where he's best, I believe. Good to see Maxi Estevez get a first game of the season as well. A few changes for myself. One enforced as Yepes is suspended. So we make some personnel changes. Anelka has been dropped this week just because he is not yet performing, and I'm hoping that will get the best out of him. I doubt it. I very much doubt it. And now I've seen the figures, I don't really understand why I've dropped him. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, other than that, Lopez, Shevington moves forward, Lopez drops in, attacking midfield. I'm going to give Pahars a shout ahead of Belkovic, see if that makes any difference. But the back sort of 6 have only really changed because Yepes has come out, whereas Brown moves across to the left centre back, and I'm going to give Lembo a shout. Hilton I've also dropped in goal instead of LF. Just going to change it up a little bit because it hasn't yet got across the line, so I don't yet know my best 11. Let's see how we go. Very much expecting a drubbing from the home side, but let's see how we go on. And there we go, another yawn fest here in the small horse, as again we don't make 10 minutes before the first goal goes in. Doesn't look like I am putting up any fight whatsoever, he says. Fantastic, look at that. Looks like a tactical masterclass to leave Anelka out and push Everton further forward. It's all part of the plan. It seems to be playing better. Far more accurate in front of goal by the look of things. Yeah, fairly even. A few more shots for Castor. Not quite as profligate in front of goal as the Unicorns, but 1 goal each. Fifey's got away with one there. Last minute change for his team. That's alright. Had to guess for him. Schmuck off, Klim on. Chuck him up top next to Jimenez. Okie dokie, where is he? I can never fucking find any of players. There we go. Is there going to be anything centralised arrows, etc., etc.? So presumably like so. Evening, Noopy. Arrows off the DMs, no problem. Just confirm if you want that D'Alessandro arrow on. Yeah, cool, lovely. We'll take it to 60 from there. Let's have a look. Yeah, look to have the better of things rating wise as well over myself. I don't know if I'm going to make anything change wise. I think I might. Yeah, I think I'm going to draw everybody back one to bring an Elka on. See if he can make the difference. Give him 45 minutes. I don't want him too upset. Take it to 60. Oof, nothing happens for the first 5 minutes. Seems to be a little bit more even this side of the half. Let's have a look at some other stats. I said it looked a bit more even. It certainly doesn't on paper, as it's all Castor Troy so far in the first 8 minutes, if my maths is right. No. 18 minutes, sorry. Oh, I don't fucking know. It's been a long day. Case asks for Jimenez. Make him the left striker. No problem. I've got to find him in the fucking list now. Yeah, that's an understandable change to make. I was going to say, will we see Estevez for Valtellina? We will indeed. Yeah, both understandable substitutions to make there. I think that would certainly make sense on paper, that. Good to go, lovely. And am I going to make anything change-wise? Lopez still not playing particularly well. I haven't left myself with anything attacking-wise, as I was expecting to be getting beats by now. Gaston House. Well, that's the thing about those in Gaston houses, they don't throw John Stones. Right, I'm going to make a stupid decision. No, I'm not. I'll get this way instead. I was going to bring in a third central DM there, bring Enzo on, but I think I'm gonna go for it rather than, because I haven't won a game yet. I'm gonna go for it rather than sitting back. Oh, I should have gone direct as well. That's annoying. We'll see it out to the end now. I think the form that Castor Troy are currently in this season. Oh, get in! On his debut. See it out, see it out, see it out, see it out. Yes! Impartiality out the window. I was just about to say, the form that Castor Troy are in and the form I'm in, I think we'd both happily run away, quietly amused with a draw for ourselves here. Wow! That is 2 weeks in a row that the changes made by myself at half-time, at the 60-minute mark, have completely changed the game against Castor Troy. Holy shit. Again, on paper, I think, look at that and say, of course, mate, I do remember ratings now. That has kept Helton well and truly. Fucking Lopez is the only one at the minute. He looks like he's done for. And Nelka again's not had a great game. Really good debut for Lembo. Great to see. Fucking hell. Yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Not a lot from any of the substitutions. Any of the 4 substitutions, really. All I can say is I'm happy that I went for it rather than dropping that defensive midfielder in. Oof. The casters have come off for rocks. That's a really good joke, that is. Really good joke. And all I can say is fuck you harder. Fuck you, Rocks. Appreciate it, mate. Love you too. Noopy I have seen, obviously, and Ebbs is. I think. Let me see, did Ebbs say he was going to be about? I've got a feeling he didn't. No, right. So we'll go with your game. While we're here, I think there was a few personnel changes, but nothing too drastic. Yeah, there we go. Nothing drastic in terms of tactics. This worked really well last time out. I think you'd be amiss to change anything too drastically. Doing tactics, there we go. But yeah, Volodenkov moved further forwards into more similar position to how he was doing really well for Ban River last iteration. I can't really say last season because it didn't get finished in the end. It exploded and didn't work. Lampard dropped for the move slightly further back. Michael Hughes, Gronkiar and Boomer continue on the wings. Same backline, Simic and Fox, and Parmodu Carr comes in for. I don't even remember who was playing in defensive midfield there. Peter Luchin. So yeah, a few good changes. Oh, perfect timing as always, Ebbs. I think I should just sort of wait and say, what sort of time do I think Ebbs is going to be available, and then just sort of aim for that sort of time. I think that's about the 3rd or 4th time in a row you've managed to sort that. What number do we want for Roy Carroll? I think the big number 39, surely. I can't believe there's been that many of your squad players that you've played as well, mate. I love that. I don't remember you giving me squad numbers, but you might have done. Let's have a look. I'm going to scroll up give you time to have a look at it before I do anything. Let's have a look. I'm not seeing any squad numbers. Any number is fine. Lovely. It is your Sharona by the Knack. Fantastic. Lovely. And this is what the people want, as Ebbs put it this week. The Fog on the Tyne lineup. The all Geordie 11. Well, the all Geordie 15, realistically, is all 4 subs. And just as an added little Easter egg for Ebbs himself, nobody in the squad, the first team squad, who hasn't played for Newcastle at some point. Just in case I missed any. Don't remember Xabi Alonso ever turning out alongside Javier Mascherano in the black and white of Newcastle. But I might be wrong. So a very familiar Fibonacci sequence for the Dons, and a very familiar looking Saudi inspired 11 for Newcastle United. Now Ebbs definitely gave me some squad numbers, specifically for about 3 or 4 Newcastle players. I guarantee one of them was Beresford. I'm sure he was number 3. He was indeed. Excellent. And I know he's not played yet. 7 for Rob Lee. He's not played yet. 23 for Amiobi. They're the 3 I have got down. I think the rest you weren't too fussed about, so we'll do this the nice and easy way. Voila. Here we go. So, where are we league table? Oh, wow. Hadn't even got a chance. All the rest of... Yeah, I was pretty sure I'd sorted all the other ones. Yeah, perfect. Hadn't even got a chance to look whereabouts the 2 of you were in the league. It looks like Shaka Hislop has already done some defensive work along with Colaccini and Dabazas. But we're down a right back already. Thank God you've got the utility man extraordinaire on the bench. I expect to see one of those midfield 3 come out, or Dabazas can probably go across to right back, can he? No, apparently not. Leave it for now, I'll risk it. Oof, yeah, it is early doors in fairness. Yeah, I was going to suggest it was sort of a bottom of the table clash, as it were, literally rock bottom of the table, and Ebbs is faring far better than he was expecting. And yeah, I was right to think that there's been a couple of shots already. I think it's a bit too early to... ordinarily, I would give the opposition a chance to make some changes, but it's a bit early in the day to be getting too over the top with too many substitutions, etc. Volodenkov, the man I did pick out at the start as having done very well from a further forward position for the previous iteration of Bam River, and he's carried on that good form. Well, you were expecting to get beat, Ebbs, so you've been proved right so far. I don't think you can... I think you can certainly be forgiven. We were on top for a bit there. Yeah, from kick-off, when if you kicked off the ball, you were certainly winning possession at the very least for the first few seconds there. Hughes goal disallowed. I did see that was disallowed right at the end there. Let's have a look. He shoved Ketsbaia and only got a yellow card. Wilfred Boomer's fractionally offside. Fuming. I love that one. So are you on YouTube as both Megahorse and Bibbins? That's good for the viewing figures. I like that. Do that as often as you want. Ratings wise, Dario Simic having an absolute worldie alongside Vitaly Volodenkov. I'd be surprised to see anything changing for the away sides. Not intentionally as both. No worries at all. Have a look at condition there. Jesper maybe needing a little rest. Chich potentially. GX of Fox and GX to right back. That and presumably Fox for Lee first, like so. But let me know if you want me to change that. Or if you're pulling Ginola back and keeping it in the middle, however you want to play it, let me know. Ginola for Ketsbaia. It's not a bad shout. And then classic go direct. I was kicking myself for about 5 minutes for not doing exactly the same in my game. Glad I didn't in the end. And not expecting wholesale changes here. It's certainly got the upper hand at the minute. We'll give Noopy a chance to... OK to 60, you did say that. Apologies, I missed that one in the... while I was looking at the disallowed goal. And there's the third. 60 regardless, not a problem at all. There we go. Is there going to be a fourth before the changes? No. Sir Les, of course. Of course, gets someone out of 60. No problem. Anything further, Ebbs? Is Stuart Pearce going to get the nod at left back over the very much underperforming John Beresford? Huckabee for Ketsbaia and Dunn. Yeah, makes sense. Lovely. Right, so we're going with Forlan on Fenehacic. And pushed up. Let's give everyone some minutes, I like it. Pushed up front for 2 and Solis on for Gronk. There we go. 60 minutes, of course. Just let me know that you're happy with Volodenkov being centralised with the arrow as well. Try and make the common sense sort of changes for people, but you never know. Especially with Tato floating about in his asymmetric nonsense. Is that is that the Northern Irish translation for or is that a misspelling of perfect? Or Peppa Fit, and you're a big fan of cartoon pigs? I don't know. I'm not here to kink shame. Not for me. I'm going to assume it's perfect. And it's supposed to be perfect. There you go. The irony there being that it wasn't perfect. There we go. Only the one extra shot on target since half time, and it did go in. Still nothing for Ebbs, unfortunately. We shall play through to 90. There we go, mate. Oh, and we've evened it up. We are now 10 men apiece. YouTube slow tonight. No problem at all, mate. No problem. It's one or the other usually. We'll play your game next, Tato. I think you've... Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're not up against Anfield. I think he's got the Devils. Yeah, he's got Devils, so we'll play your game next, Tato. Go long ball for me at this break. No problem at all. It's not a particularly good 20-minute performance from Diego Forlan. Good with that, lovely. It's the sort of the obvious one, isn't it? But I'm right in saying that's long ball, isn't it? That's in, yeah. Just confirm that for me in case you're expecting something in individual player tactics, Ebbs. Yeah, cool. I thought as much. Oof. Out of substitutions. Oh dear. The assumption would be that, but yeah, move code. There you go. Excellent. Again, just to confirm you're happy with that, Ebbs, before I continue with the longest match in the world, and not through either issue with responding as well. It's just purely because everything seems to have been happening, both teams. As that was not a red, that was just an injury. We'll leave it in terms of changes for Ban River. Not that I don't think they need them. We have finally had some shots at the very least, Ebbs, and one on target right in the last minute. Oh, you got a corner. You won the corners, alright? You didn't win the throw-ins, and as everybody knows, if you don't win the throw-ins, you don't win the game. Simple as that. And it was that one extra throw-in that really changed the game there. Nothing to do with the first 20 minutes, and you're already going down to 10 men, finishing the game with 9 against 10. Yeah, you can't really legislate for that sort of thing. That's unlucky. But nice to see a full Geordie 11 on the pitch. There you go. Yeah, exactly. Like it. And really, with a big hit, very, very good to see the Northern Irish against the Northern Irish against the North and Eastern. Northeast against Northern Irish. I like that. There you go. We'll play you up next, Tato, as we said. Get the meat on, as he said there. Just the couple of changes there. Okoronkwo back in for Tellez. He drops to the bench in place of Steve Howie, and Angel is dropped completely. Mahantu comes in, and Shefty Kuchi comes on to the bench in place of Juan Pablo Angel. That's another ex-Newcastle player there. Getting himself on the bench. No, Aaron Hughes is certainly not quite as good on this iteration of the game than he was on the previous one. Get Warren Barton on. There you go. In fairness, I think he's got a higher CA, if that helps Ebbs, but yeah, no, he's certainly not. He's not quite as good as he was in that last iteration, certainly no. There we go, and absolutely no changes whatsoever to the impressive so far this season, and that hurts to say, in all honesty. Minimal interest so far this season. Very, very well. The fuckers. So let's see how we go. This one's certainly a further up the table clash. The second place fifth, and it's very much gone to the form books so far. Ooh, that was a turnip for the books. That's 1 for 3 is a coffee. And there we go. That's 2 goals within 15 minutes. Mr. Ambassador, you do spoilers. Evening! Welcome, Star 2. Lovely to have you. All the way across the pond and then up the stairs a little bit as well. And that's a 3rd goal for the game already. And a 4th. And where it looked I was about to say, where it looked like it had evened itself up a little bit, if it weren't for that disallowed goal inside 10 minutes for really, they would be on level terms. And that is an absolute ludicrous first half figure. Wow. 16 shots on target across 2 teams. 23 shots, I think, on goal in the first half. That's a shot on goal every 2 minutes. It's fucking ridiculous. Wow. What was that goal disallowed for? Javin scored. Munitis was fractionally offside after a huge run from Javin, by the look of it. Wow. Unlucky. Absolute yawn fest as always, as is till 60, says Tato. Not a surprise, as is. Really, usually go to 60 as well, and then we have a look at the most underperforming striker for Louis Sahar. So, as it stands, we're going to see Sahar on for Mahaucha. Oof! And there is the equaliser straight after the restart. I think in the words of the dearly departed John Motson, we have ourselves a ding-dong battle. R.I.P. Matty. We will have a look at that first very obvious change for and I think we're going to get Shefty Kuki on for Oliveira as well. It's forward, isn't it? Yeah. That's it. They're the obvious changes. I don't think we need to bring Jamie Victory off, do we? We'll see David Priest having an absolute shocker. I can see changes being rung here, but I'm not sure what. I think probably see some Quim. And maybe Ficini. Probably not for Roberto Sosa. I'd say maybe for Archie Back. There we go. Ficini on for Archie Back. He was very much on the button. It's good to know. Ficini on for Back. Move him up top. Asymmetric style. There you go. You see, and that's why. And Priest off for Quinn as well. There you go. I was absolutely on the button. There you go. Do you want an arrow on Nicky Forenko before I press OK? Can't remember if your asymmetric formation does have that arrow on. Don't think it does. I'll give you the option. No arrow on no arrow on Nicky, but stick one on Ficini running out right. Ooh, Fettuccine is so good. He's got put in the game twice with 2 spellings. Ooh, both overrated, no doubt. I think that's your next out of league signing sorted. That's what you get. The inevitable Neil Scally red card. As is. Easy peasy. I don't think there's anything needs changing there, is it? League B. We shall play through. 30 shots. 21 on target. Absolute madness. Welcome to the small horse, ladies and gentlemen. Gentlemen and potato. Oh, a last minute 7th goal of the night. Wow. I mean, you've got to bring on Tellez. But what we do in terms of we'll do that and hope for the best. What a ridiculous game. 39 shots, 26 on target, 7 goals. What a yawn fest. If that is not an advert for your viewership of the Small Horse Invitational Tournament, I think this is a bit where if I was a proper YouTubey man, I would say like and subscribe, share and subscribe and like, all of that stuff. Quim with an 8 out of 10 performance in 30 minutes. Wow. And a member of the losing team with a 10 out of 10 as well. Cannot fault it. Yeah, not a problem, mate. Match stats. Have a little look at that. A lot of key passes there, fairness. All of the right people you want shooting as well, by the look of things. Your attacking midfielders, your forwards. Nobody you wouldn't expect to see shooting. It's having shots at all. Yeah, that's what you want out of a big target man, in fairness. You're winning all your headers. Can't complain. Nicky Forenko not quite so good in the air, shall we say. No worries at all. Very, very good game. Haven't seen Asna for the night. And because you're here, Dan, what we'll do is we'll pop you on last. And we will absolutely whip through this one, as everyone expects it to go. Only one way. Only one change for Dudley Hill, as Sorochinsky drops in for the injured Petrov. Joey G taking Sorochinsky's position on the bench. A few little tactical tweaks for Shamrock this week, as the sweepers come into centre-back, and one of the attacking midfielders drop into defensive midfield to make that sort of back six against the rampant Dudley Hill. Lovely stuff done, mate. Appreciate it. I thought that might be the case. Yeah, as I said, whipped through this one. Steve did mention that he's unlikely to be about tonight. and there is the... It took 3 times longer than I was expecting. No goal within inside the first 10 minutes for the first game tonight. All 4 of the first games had a goal well within inside the first 10 minutes. And far less shots on target than the last game. And I reckon both teams, if you're looking at it, lovely stuff, and I should be watching that. Very much enjoying it, Dan. I've been checking out some of your saves. There's a instant reply for Shamrock. Love to see it. Oof, Dean Richards having a shocker. No obvious. Sochinsky play centre back? Yeah, he can. I'm going to make that substitution because I think that makes the most sense. Asna, perfect timing, mate. Just in time for the 60 minutes change up as well. And there's a lot of 60s going forwards there as well. I reckon you see a Martin for Carboni. Leave that there for Steve. And playing pretty well, if I'm honest, from the southern branch of our Irish managers. I think I'll switch up Kruin for Svensson. I like that. Swapping with Kiko, I like that as well. It's half expecting to see Boateng get a run out there, to be honest, but yeah, Kiko has been that good this season so far. He cannot drop. Apologies, mate. Condition. So few managers in this, for a change, who actually seem to be that arsed about condition. So I forget to look it up. Boateng for them do. It's a surprise. He's been a revelation so far this season. They do done really well, and then play on. Lovely stuff. But yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, I wouldn't start someone with, say, less than 90% fitness, but I wouldn't be too upset. Oh, fantastic. First points dropped for Dudley Hill, and the tactical maestro does it again. Absolutely, you would take that with both hands happily. My tit is still particularly sore. Thank you for asking, Starty. That is, I must be the only middle-aged person, mid-30s man who can take out the recycling bin and pull a muscle in my tit. That is an exceptional effort. Yeah, there's a lot of managers there. Tim Henman fist bumping at the dropping of points there for Steve. To be honest, I reckon both teams. The performance wasn't there for Dudley Hill, and that it's got everything to do with the tactics by the tactical maestro himself. That's the square. Fantastic point, mate. Appreciate it. I hurt myself putting a sock on in the tape. Put my back out sneezing. I have done that on more than one occasion. Genuinely, yeah. That's rolling over in bed. Rolling over in bed at the minute has been an absolute fucking horror show. Steve does horrific things to socks. Yeah, no, I would hate to be a sock in Steve's house. So I like that. Just the ridiculous amount of things. I seem to go through stages where, especially working from home, snap my fingers rearranging my boxes. Yeah, I think I must be one of the younger managers. I think probably on here. I know Fifey and Rox are certainly both younger than me. Fifey's a couple of years younger, and considering, visually, Rox looks 50. I know he's Scottish, so that 50, looking 50 in Scotland is obviously, an English 15. But I'm surprised Rox is the youngest out of all of us, in all honesty. Tom the nurse was doing some DIY at home. I just slipped and fell, and the light bulb just went up there. It was an accident, Mrs. I promise. Dirty old man. I've got myself distracted as always. No tactical tweaks for Sandfields tonight in the curtain raiser. Curtain call. Oh, bloody no. Tonton makes his debut alongside Derek McInnes on the bench for Sandfields. Quinker is unhappy, Dan. I'm assuming you're going to ask me that question at some point because he wants a new contract. He has been offered a new contract. Don't worry. On silent at the minute with Waking Baby. I will drag this out as long as possible, Dan, mate. Don't you worry. It is a very. It's one of those formations that only Dan could make work. With the weird arrows and the DM going all the way. I just don't know. In the same way, I haven't got a clue how Asner does it half the time. He just looks at a game and goes, I read this book once, and this formation works for whoever the Italian manager in 1947 was for Genoa. It worked for him, so it'll probably work for me. Same way that madness is put together in Dan's head. It's the same way that it works for Asner, and it never works for me, whatever madness I put together. Right, there's a couple of squad numbers for Dan and Swanee. Where are they? 17 for McInnes and 32 for Tonton. There we go. And big changes for... Hang on. The Devils. There was a last minute change as well because I couldn't read one of the names on the post-it note that... we get rid of Michael Ball. On the post-it note that Fifey sent, and it was Alan Thompson. There we go. So Fifey has taken a look at the 181 and has tried to sort of match it up a little bit. Very, very attacking Devils formation tonight. That was I thought on the post-it note which is exactly where Fifey was clever enough to put his thumb, would be Craig Bellamy, and then I sent the picture over to him. He went, well, it's not Craig Bellamy. He's on 72% fitness. You fucking idiot. Don't know how I would have got Alan Thompson instead. So we go. But yeah, big tactical swing as ever. Fifey seems to play a different formation every week, which I love to see. Here we go. 2 1 at the back formations, like the good old days, and it's 5 minutes for the transfer finding of the season so far. Afonso for Sandfields. What an absolute cult hero he's making himself to the Welsh fans. It's lovely to see. And that is first goal for Djugovic. Right on the stroke of half time with the first shot on target. That is not the way to get yourself a new contract, is it, Mario Cuenca? On the face of it, the away team have probably got the better ratings. Yeah, probably the difference being the keeper between the two teams, realistically. I reckon, have you got, is there a defensive midfielder on the bench? No, so I think no, JJ Kochek can become defensive midfielder. We'll go to 60 for 5 feet and give Dan the option of making some changes there. Tonton down to 86%. I reckon he's getting hooked. I can see a Balashov for Makoko transfer on the horizon. I'll give him a little time. Whilst on little lady duty. As I've heard my 1-year-old crying away upstairs a couple of times, and my dutiful wife taking care of him in my absence, I very much understand. Tontoff Balashon. There we go. I'm not saying that's predictable at all, Dan. But that's exactly the substitute I called. Lovely stuff. Right, we shall take it to 60 minutes. See if there's any change. Oh, there is indeed a change to the scoreline. It's a complete turnaround. And that's a third for the Devils. That 60-minute stoppage cannot come quick enough for for Dan and Sandfields. If there's anything else drastically needs changing, tell you what, we'll give Shabanga a drop for Carl Court as well. That's not gone well. Cuenca is having a stinker. Kachuru not playing particularly well either. Condition wise, all look okay for this time in the game. So I don't think that will come into consideration, particularly for Dan. I'm not seeing too much attacking wise in terms of options. I mean, I'd be inclined to make a substitution for the goalkeeper just so you don't concede any more potentially. Then maybe McInnes for Kachuru, Diop moving forward, Milevsky going out left, and then McInnes in defensive midfield potentially. That's probably the closest you're going to get to an attack-minded substitution there. But it is not my decision to make. What will the artist formerly known as Champ Megahorse pull out of his wizard sleeve in terms of a magic trick to get back into this game? Kachuru left of a front three. Okay. side on the right. Yeah, I thought that's what you'd said. Centralised giant run up to Derek McInnes for Usman Darbo. Very much an arrow pointing the way to the goal. I like it. I think that is exactly what you've asked me for. I think that has fulfilled the brief given. But I know you've said thanks, which means you're happy that it's all done. But I just confirm you're happy that I haven't fucked that. That would be lovely, please. And no rush as well. As your opponent's not here, you're not waiting. Lovely stuff. Excellent. Now, can we see Sandfields get back into it? Oh, that is unfortunate. Alfonso with a goal disallowed. I thought that was going to really turn the game on a sixpence then, but the referee had other ideas. I don't think it's going to be any further action, and that is it. That is it. Only one team didn't score tonight. Only one team, and you guessed it, Ebbs. You have finally found yourself rooted to the bottom as Bam Rivers' first win of the season. It is indeed. Has snuck them off the bottom. Stats, please. Apologies, Dan. I'll get back to that. I'm a fucking nightmare for that sort of shit. Where are we? There we are. There we go. I know you're one of the few that jump in on the save, Dan. So I never think of that sort of thing. Yeah, no problem at all. Let's have a look. See, didn't win the throw-ins, that's the problem. Didn't win the throw-ins. I don't know. I'm so upset that the Devils are doing so well this season. I really am. And they are fallible. 2 points finally dropped for Dudley Hill tonight. And understandably, Tato is horny, frothing at the gash for more small horse action, and I can imagine that Stu and Fifey are very much of the same opinion, as the top four now looks far, far closer than it did at the start of the night. I know we're very, very early into the season, but it is shaping up nicely. I can't say that it's going to be going down to the last day of the league as we did in season 1. Let's have a look. As if by magic, Ebbs, you have got a week off. Look at that. Tomorrow night I am yes, I am out. Yes, of course I am. I'm on a date with one of the managers of the league. A devilishly handsome manager tomorrow night. Yeah, he will be as well. Good point. 12th against 11th as well, so there'll be at least a further point differential between you and the team above you. Hurricanes, fresh off the week off, play myself. Finally back in the hunt for playoff. And second against third. That does look a tasty fixture to round out the night. coming up. As I said, won't be tomorrow. Wednesday, I think that's Super League, is it not? So probably not Wednesday. Thursday it is. We will go at least one game Thursday night, and depending on what time Mrs. falls asleep, might be able to sneak a second game in. So I will get a save up, slide into DMs with some screenshots, etc. See if we can get a quick turnaround. Another good night for minimal interest and Devils, which really pains me to say. And nice to see finally the last team in the league to register a win. The last two teams, in the leagues to register wins. Myself, the Unicorns and Ban River, both get one across the line tonight as well, which is good to see. Stats wise, a 9.25 over, is it 5 or 6 games? Over 4 games. 4 games, 4 goals, 2 assists, 2 man of the matches. You cannot ask for more out of a player than that. Jamie Ingledown right at the top there as well for really good to see. Some different names at the top there as well. Goals, D'Alessandro and Casas still at the top there. Camps obviously as well. Kiko has done really well. Mason Javin is a name that we haven't seen as high up as that in the goal screenshots for a while. Good to see. None of my Unicorns anywhere near anything. And in terms of assist, Rayad absolutely steams to the top of the charts. Just had a couple of assists tonight. Fantastic effort from Rayad. Looks a very good version, in fairness. Excellent in the reserves. Called up, that's how you do it. Performance, 6 assists in 5 games. Cannot say fairer than that. Another dull night in the small horse. As we finish up just over an hour. I shall see you all on Thursday. Bid you all adieu. One last little thing. Mentioned losing John Motson recently. Also on the last stream, I mentioned that Christian Atsu had been pulled from the rubble in the Turkish earthquake. Unfortunately, those reports were incorrect at the time, so it was confirmed over the break that I had that unfortunately Christian Atsu, speaking of Newcastle 11s, former Newcastle player Christian Atsu had unfortunately perished in the Turkish earthquake, so it's really unfortunate, and lost very good former Premier League player and the voice of multiple footballing generations. So I don't like to end on a sour note, but rest in peace to John Marston and Christian Atsu. With that, I shall, as I say, bid you adieu. See you all on Thursday for more goals, more action, more dull, boring chat manager action. Lovely stuff. It's been a pleasure, gentlemen. Glad to be back. Much love.